Well, color me surprised, December. I walked into the month expecting very slim pickings when it comes to new releases. Like maybe one or two cute little books trying their best. But y'all, I'm pleasantly surprised. The volume, the range, the quality. December really said, you thought I was going to rest? Absolutely not. It took me 0 seconds to add titles to my already unmanageable TBR. My gift to you, because it is indeed the holiday season, is to save you the countless hours of scrolling, Googling, and borderline detective work required to find the gems. Instead, I'm going to help you find your next read right now. Today, we're diving into the 7 standout releases dropping this month, a mix of fantasy, thriller, romance, and socially conscious fiction. So, no matter what kind of reader you are, you're walking away with something good. If you enjoy this roundup, be sure to follow the Now in Books podcast on Apple Podcasts or Spotify and share it with your favorite book friend so they know exactly which books to gift you this season.
A new chapter is waiting, full of new and diverse voices captivating. Cut through all the endless noise and discover books you'll truly love. Find out what's new and what's now and Now in Books. Now in Books, like Now in Books. Now in Books, like Now in Books. What's new? What's now? Stories that matter, stories that wow. Discover the reads that'll engage your mind and explore the issues of our time. Cut through all the endless noise and discover books you'll truly love. Find out what's new and Now in Books.
Hey, y'all, it's Eve Laren. Welcome to Now in Books podcast. And welcome to December, the final leg of the holiday season. How's it feeling for you? It feels weird this year. Maybe it's just me. It probably is just me, but I don't feel hooked into the season. Between me and you, I'm not the biggest holiday person. I honestly forget most of them outside of the really big, inescapable ones. And if they change dates each year, you know the ones I'm talking about. If they're not December 25th or January 1st each and every year, forget about it. Even with me not being the biggest holiday person, during this time of the year, I'm locked in on the vibes. And the vibes are not vibing this year. So is it me? Again, it's probably me. I think I'm going to have to renew my TV subscription for this month, just so I can do my Hallmark and Lifetime holiday movie marathons. I'm talking a full out weekend where I do nothing but eat in bed and play endless holiday movies. That's definitely going to get me in the holiday spirit. I already have the first one on my list. My best friend since third grade, yes, third grade, is an actor, and he plays the Black Santa in the Christmas movie with Brandy that dropped last week. It's called Christmas Every Day, and that's the one I'm going to start with. And I'm just going to go wherever my mood leads me from there. But if you have some Christmas movie recs that I can stream, drop them in my inbox. Help a girl out. I also have some holiday books lined up to get me into the spirit. And next week, I'm going to be sharing a few of those. Just talking about the movies and the books has me a little pumped. Before I jump into the most anticipated reads coming out this month, I want to update you on the Goodreads Choice Awards. In case you missed that episode, my 10-second summary is fans are upset at the lack of diversity from the nominees. So I dived into how the Goodreads Choice Awards work and what readers can do today to increase the diversity of the nominees moving forward. If you missed that episode and are interested in the awards, go take a listen. In that episode, I mentioned that 6 of the Now in Books book club picks were nominees. And based on my experience from last year, I was hoping just 2 of the 6 made it to the next round, the finals. Well, I'm happy to report back that most of them did. Yes, 4 of the 6 titles are in the finals. Good Dirt, The Dream Hotel, Death of the Author, and I Am Not Jessica Chen. Honestly, after last year's results, I'm so excited so many of them made it into the finals this year. With that update, let's move on to our December books. I'm starting our December roundup with the heavy hitter, Dawn of the Firebird by Sarah Mugorana. If you're someone who gravitates toward epic fantasy with high emotional stakes and a strong sense of cultural grounding, the kind of stories that stay with you long after the last page, this one deserves a place on your radar. It's the first book in a new trilogy, and it follows Camilla, whose entire life has been shaped by violence and vengeance. She's the daughter of an empress clan and has been trained from childhood to protect the throne that gets stolen when another empire attacks and kills her entire clan. Because peace is boring, and this is an epic fantasy, not a short story. So she hides her identity and enters the enemy's elite military academy, a place fueled by gin, magic, and rigorous martial training. Camilla's magic makes her valuable to everyone around her, but it also places her in constant danger. As she studies under monks and competes in contests that test her limits, she begins uncovering pieces of history that don't match up with what she knows about her family and about the war that she was raised to fight. With a war brewing across the kingdoms and a new unsettling magic rising, Camilla is forced to face the darkness within herself and decide what kind of leader and what kind of person she's willing to become. This is the first book in a planned trilogy and Sarah's adult debut. If you are a fan of the Poppy War or She Who Became the Sun, you'll also enjoy Dawn of the Firebird. The story is inspired by Persianate and Turkic cultures and delivers just about everything you love and expect from today's fantasy novel: an overthrown empire, a morally gray protagonist, and a magic system that bites back. This is definitely one to add to cart. For our next pick, we're heading to the ivy covered halls of a very dark, a very magical university. In an Arcane Inheritance by Camilla Cole, we're following Ellery Morgan, who is determined to prove she belongs at Warren University, a very old, very elite New England university that has built its entire legacy on the brilliance of its BIPOC students while quietly burying the bones and the magic it stole from them. From the moment Ellery steps foot on campus, something feels off. She's unsettled. The cobblestone paths that she's walking feels a little too familiar, and the deja vu is hitting her hard. She's never been to Warren University before, but somehow she has. So she turns to the only person on campus who can help her figure things out. Hudson Graves, a brooding, gorgeous legacy student who knows more about the university's occult past than he's saying. If this is giving you enemies to allies vibes, then we're on the same page. An Arcane Inheritance is a genre blend, pairing dark academia, fantasy, romance, and horror, while delivering commentary on memory, generational wealth, and BIPOC women carving space into traditionally white, male dominated institutions. And also, The Colonization of Magic. I'm very curious to see how this book plays out. Camilla Cole is the best-selling author of the young adult novels So Let Them Burn, which is one of our book club picks, and This Ends in Embers. This is her adult debut and focuses on a freshman in college, so I think it's going to be a seamless transition from her YA work into adult fiction. If you're looking to get your hands on this one, you have a little bit of a wait, as this one releases at the very end of the month. But I have a feeling it's going to be worth it. Do you like dark romance? I do. Our next anticipated release is a debut novel that is already generating some buzz in the dark romance community. In Love Me, Stalk Me by Laura Bishop, Izzy Russo, an overworked department store manager, is done with her inattentive real life boyfriend. To fill the emotional void, she downloads an AI boyfriend app and starts confiding her deepest, dirtiest fantasies to the harmless chatbot named Caleb. Only it's not Caleb, it's Callahan Knight, the hot, tattooed new head of security at her store, who is secretly listening to everything she says because he's hacked her phone. Why? Because the moment he saw Izzy, he knew she was his. Callahan figures a woman like Izzy deserves to be cherished by someone who truly knows her worth, and he's determined to be that man. Hacking someone's phone? That's very creepy. Knowing someone is yours the moment you see them? Also very creepy, but also very swoony. Do they cancel each other out? Hey, no judgment. I did say I like dark romance. And this one sounds unhinged in the best way. It's told in a dual point of view and is serving all the things dark rom-com fans love: danger, desire, and laugh out loud chaos. I especially like the inclusion of AI. Not only is it timely, but it's a soft, approachable way to explore the dangers of privacy and AI usage. And if you go to the author's website, you'll find the fun, interactive way they've incorporated the chat box into her site. I absolutely love it. Love Me, Stalk Me is the first novel in what will be the Obsessively Yours series, with the next book, which is titled Hate Me, Take Me, coming in August next year. Now, let's pivot to a psychological thriller that will have you side-eyeing your friends on your next vacation. The House Guest by Amber and Danielle Brown is the perfect read if you're into stories where a seemingly perfect trip unravels into something sinister. In it, we have Iris, who's coping with insomnia and PTSD after having witnessed her mother's death. And we have her boyfriend, Eli, who suggests she joins his group of friends for a week-long getaway to a remote lake house in the Catskills, even though he can't go with her because of a family emergency. Desperate to get away, Iris agrees. She arrives a night ahead of everyone else and witnesses a man burying something or someone behind the cabin. When the group of friends arrive the next day and she tells them what she saw, they find the spot untouched. And because Iris is on medication for her PTSD, they immediately try to write her concerns off. But unwilling to let it go, Iris digs up the ground to reveal an arm, only it's not a human arm, it's a mannequin. And as strange incidents continue, Iris becomes increasingly isolated within the group. And as the newcomer, the outsider of the group, and the only one insisting that something is wrong, that isolation places her life in danger. If you like the book or the recent adaptation of The Woman in Cabin 10, I think you'll like this one as well. they share similar themes of a woman being gaslit into believing she didn't see what she knows she saw, and her life being threatened when she refuses to drink the Kool-Aid. Sounds like a cozy winter thriller. Next up, we have Sea Salt and Coffee Beans by Grace Santamaria. This is another one that is timely and touches on current social issues. The story centers on Sophia, a driven Latina woman who loses the job that's been holding her entire life together. Not only does she need steady work to keep herself afloat, but her work visa is tied directly to her employment. So getting fired isn't just inconvenient, it's life altering. Everything she sacrificed and worked for feels like it's slipping out of her hands. And her only chance at being able to stay in the country is by landing a job at the top marketing firm in Miami. It's a competitive position to go after, and things get complicated when the person standing between her and that job is a man she can't stop thinking about. Esteban is confident, charming, and living the life of Sophia's dreams. He also happens to be her direct competition for the same position. And while he's fully aware of that fact, he's not letting it stop him from pursuing her. With mounting family pressure and facing a deadline, Sophia is forced into an impossible choice: secure her career or risk being sent back to the life she fought so hard to leave behind. All while trying not to fall in love with the one person who could steal her lifeline. With the topical themes of immigration, ambition, representation, and identity, I think Sea Salt and Coffee Beans will be a hit as a book club read. Our next to last book is for reality TV fans and gives us some LGBTQ rep. The Book of Luke by Lovell Holder follows Luke Griffin, who became the golden boy of a competition reality show after a car accident ended his football career. The show, which is called Endeavor, pits tabloid superstars against one another. Things started out well for Luke on the show. He made friends, fell in love, and played the game harder than anyone realized until the betrayals, the pressure, and one irreversible tragedy changed everything. Fast forward a decade, and Luke's life looks picture perfect on the surface. He's a stay-at-home dad and is married to America's only openly gay senator. But under the surface, things are not quite so perfect. Luke's husband is a cheater, and when the scandal is exposed, Luke decides to return to the latest season of Endeavor in a desperate bid for fast cash and to reclaim his identity. Once there, he's instantly confronted with everything he tried to leave in the past: bitter rivalries, shattered friendships, crushing guilt over betrayals from the first season, and a mysterious tragedy that changed everyone's lives forever. This one has a few themes that will appeal to many readers. There's reality TV, which brings spectacle, high stakes, drama, hookups, backstabbing, and jaw-dropping twist. And there's LGBTQ rap and social commentary about queerness, politics, and the limits of likability. With those themes and a story of redemption, I expect this one to land on quite a few book club lists. All right, we are closing out our December picks with a debut novel that's already getting buzz. When the Fireflies Dance by Isha Hassan hasn't been released yet, and it's already been long and shortlisted for a few awards. The story is set in Lahore, Pakistan, and follows our protagonist Lalu, whose life is defined by the moment when men came with dogs, guns, and cricket bats and murdered his brother in front of their family hut. His parents and sisters become trapped both emotionally and literally, working as bonded laborers at a brick kiln to pay off a debt that never decreases. And Lalo realizes that the only way to save them is to somehow break free himself. The story is a powerful journey of resilience, hope, and the desperate push toward a future that isn't defined by violence or exploitation. And sadly, it's inspired by real events. It's a very heavy but inspiring read, and it touches on topics like classism, exploitation, and bonded labor, which is essentially modern day slavery that still exists in Pakistan today despite laws meant to protect workers. If you love emotionally rich, socially conscious fiction like The Kite Runner, or you're looking for a story that will sit with you long after you finish, this is the one. That wraps up our December most anticipated picks. From epic fantasy and dark academia to chaotic dark romance, psychological thrillers, social commentary, and powerful international fiction, we really got a spectrum this month. December understood the assignment. I would love to know which of these titles is making it onto your bookshelf, your Kindle, or your I'll read it in January pile. Come hang out with me on Instagram at Now in Books. Our DMs are open and I always welcome your recs, reactions, and special requests. Remember, if you enjoyed this roundup, don't forget to follow Now in Books podcast on Apple Podcasts or Spotify so you never miss a new episode. And share this one with the book friend who always asks, what am I going to read next? You'll be doing them a huge favor this holiday season. Thank you so much for spending part of your day with me. Be sure to tune in next week to find out what's new and what's now in books. Until then, happy reading.